Kamala Harris is not more progressive than I am. Bro, he just hates women, dude. Like, I love him more when I find out how much he just hates women, dude. He hates women. The American people are tired of women. Steve Kornacki and Cuck Todd analyze Democrats' chances of winning North Carolina and Georgia.
With their campaign looking to expand its reach in two key southern battlegrounds and appeal to rural voters outside the Democratic Party's urban strongholds. Moments ago, VP Harris landed in Savannah, Georgia, as she and her running mate, Governor Tim Walz, prepare for a two-day bus tour through the southeastern part of the state, and their first sit-down interview since becoming the Democratic nominee. The bus tour, part of an effort to reach more rural and redder parts of the crucial swing state, as Democrats hope to limit losses in those areas this November, while also mobilizing supporters in counties around Atlanta, which were key to Biden winning Georgia in 2020. But as one voter in Savannah made clear to us today, the Harris campaign can't afford to take any voter in the state for granted.
We always vote Democratic here, so you have to keep this stronghold. And if you don't come here, you can lose some votes. We're half and half. We'll do, like, even me. Sometimes I'll vote Republican, mattering on what I want as far as like elected officials here.
Do you think it's going to be close across Georgia?
I think it is, but I do believe we'll be purple. I don't think we'll be blue, but I do think we'll be purple. I think she's going to win Georgia. I do. I believe it.
Just 12,000 votes tipped the state to Biden and Harris in 2020, highlighting the risk and reward for the Harris-Walz campaign with less than 70 days until the election. And while the Trump campaign is stumping today in arguably the most important battleground, Pennsylvania. Before heading down to Georgia, Harris's running mate, Tim Walz, also highlighting the campaign's efforts to boost its appeal to blue-collar workers as he addressed a firefighters union at this year's convention.
We know exactly who built this country. It's people like the folks in this room. It was you who built the middle class. And we know that when unions are strong, America's strong. As a union member, our union halls are the purest form of democracy. The opportunity to speak your mind, elect leadership, speak what you want on your platform, and then go advocate for it. That's how democracy is supposed to work.
It comes as the Harris campaign has closed the gap in some polls in North Carolina. State Democrats haven't won since 2008. But Trump only won by just a percentage point in 2020. And our friends at the Cook Political Report are now moving the Tar Heel state from lean Republican to toss-up, along with moving Minnesota and New Hampshire to likely Democratic. And so, joining me now from Savannah is NBC's Mike Memoli. Steve Kornacki is at the big board for more on Vice President Harris's path in Georgia and North Carolina. And with me here on set is NBC's chief political analyst, Cuck Todd. Thank you all so much for joining me. I want to start with you, Mike, in Savannah. Last time Harris was in Georgia, she was in Atlanta. Well, today she's in the southeastern part of the state. So take us through the campaign's goals with this bus tour and about turning out voters.
Well, Gabe, this is a bit of a flex from the Harris campaign. They're trying to take all that energy, all that enthusiasm that we saw last week in Chicago and put it out on the campaign trail and show that they are playing offense. They're on an expanded battleground map. Remember, President Biden and his campaign had really seemed to narrow their focus increasingly to defending those blue wall states. And so making an intentional choice to come out of the convention and have their first event in a state that, yes, President Biden carried 4 years ago, but was seeming to fall off the battleground map until he was replaced on the ticket, shows that they can really try to keep that momentum going. And they're not just visiting a battleground state. They're visiting a more red part of a battleground state. Now, this bus tour will take them into some blue counties, but into the redder parts of those blue counties. And it's really a strategy that we saw the Obama campaign use successfully, especially in 2012. I spent a lot of time on the road with then Vice President Joe Biden, who, especially in a state like Ohio, would go into those more rural counties. And the idea from the Obama campaign at the time was if you can turn a 55% Romney County into a 52% Romney County, then you can deploy President Obama into the big cities and take those margins and you add it up and you get a victory. And he did indeed win Ohio. So that's sort of what we're seeing now play out in Georgia. And we're going to see this new ticket together. They're going to have more retail focus on this bus tour, showcase that chemistry, showcase that energy and the positive vibes that they seem to be running on even more, though, than policy these days. But also, importantly, do that sit-down interview that we haven't yet seen this ticket yet do.
You know, Mike, you mentioned the Obama campaign strategy. How did the Harris campaign strategy change over the last few weeks after she became the nominee or at the top of the ticket?
They're going to deploy Obama. There's a tactical Obama airdrop coming, dude.
Was the strategy different under or when President Biden? How did it change?
Well, I think what we're seeing is not necessarily a new strategy, but maybe a shift in emphasis, right? We have seen some former Obama officials, David Plouffe chief among them, join the Harris campaign who had been on the sidelines. But the infrastructure of the campaign was already in place. The Harris, see, I'm still saying the Biden campaign. The Harris campaign, with a memo out today, was pointing out that they have had 50 offices in southern Georgia. That was not something that just sprang up overnight when Harris took over the top of the ticket. That was work that had been put in for months. They've done 500 events through southern Georgia. So this was always an important part of their strategy. But again, this is what happens when a campaign feels like it's able to go on offense rather than where we saw the Biden team really shrinking their focus, trying to just defend the ground that they felt safest on rather than pushing the envelope a little bit.
Mike Bemley, live for us in Savannah. Mike, thank you. Let's go now to Steve Kornacki. I want to focus on North Carolina and Georgia, you know, two states that were...
They should tell them all about... They should go to these red counties and talk to them about how much Joe Biden did for AUKUS. I think that's a winning strategy. Since ain't nobody listens to me, you know, maybe they'll do the opposite. Yeah. We got some AUKUS voters in Savannah, baby. They are gonna be, whoo, let me tell you, they're gonna be stoked, okay? Has she mentioned NATO at all? She didn't mention NATO. I mean, she did mention NATO. She did mention NATO in her DNC speech. But, you know, she should just talk about how muscular and mighty the military is going to be, because those guys don't need to feed their bellies with food or need to get like better health care. Those guys famously, they live on muscular military rhetoric. Okay. When you tell them you want the most lethal machine that you've ever seen, they think, hell yeah, baby. Because like people that care about that sort of stuff would never vote for the Republican Party. Just kidding. They only vote for the Republican Party. They don't give a shit. Okay. So tell people that you're going to feed their bellies instead of, you know, how much you beefed up AUKUS. Okay. I'm on a MIC cleanse. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I want to hear more about the Five Eyes. Okay. If I don't get enough rhetoric about the Five Eyes, I'm going to lose it. Okay. I'm going to vote for Donald Trump.
Seeming pretty much out of reach for Democrats with President Biden at the top of the ticket, and maybe more gettable for Kamala Harris, as we were just talking about with Mike. Steve, what are you seeing?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, Georgia, North Carolina, both close. They went different ways in 2020. Georgia narrowly Democratic. North Carolina, you see, Trump won it by 75,000 votes. Of all the states that Trump won in 2020, just in terms of the margin, the percentage here, this was the closest he came to losing of any that he won. And so the roadmap for Democrats in Georgia, North Carolina, there's a lot of demographic similarities between the two. Let's look at North Carolina here. And again, you see the margin in 2020, 75,000 votes. And first thing you notice is that was a shift from 2016. In 2016, the margin for Donald Trump here was about 175,000 votes, more than 3 points. You see that came way down in 2020. Now, what Democrats see when they think there's opportunity here in North Carolina is they see it's kind of blue islands in the state, you know, cities, metropolitan areas, and more specifically when we say metro areas, suburbs, densely populated, high concentration of college degrees. We talk about those voters becoming more and more Democratic. You find a ton of them in the Research Triangle area. You find some in the Triad area, Metrolina where Charlotte is, out west, Buncombe County where Asheville is. And the story in these places is they are getting bigger and they are getting bluer. So to give you an example, this is Wake County. This is where Raleigh is. And you can see big Biden win there, 27 points in 2020. Let me go back in time, though, to 2008. 2008, by the way, Barack Obama narrowly won North Carolina. But look, in this huge, massive county here, his margin was 14 points. Now it's pretty much doubled by 2020, up to a 27-point Democratic win. And you see that in all these other areas that were circled here. Democrats think 4 more years of a place like Wake County growing and, in their view, becoming a little bit more Democratic, it's going to add up in all those big population centers to overtake that 75,000 vote gap. The flip side, however, they have to worry about is all this red in here. A lot of these are very, very small counties. A lot of them are rural, but a lot of them are getting redder and redder, just as these places are getting bluer, and they add up. Individually, they're small, but they add up. Quick example, Surrey County, very small. And again, look, Trump won it by 52 points. Run back the clock here to 2008, still Republican, but McCain only won this county by 28. It's gone from 28-point Republican to 52. Wow. That's been the Trump effect in those red rural counties. And so it's basically which one's going to give? Democrats growing in the metro areas or Republicans, that Trump surge in the red area? That's the tension in Carolina, and it adds up to a very close race.
Yeah, Steve, it should be so interesting to see if...
Dude, why are people saying Biden isn't running anymore? It doesn't matter. What data point can you look at? They're looking at the last time a Democrat ran in a general election. They also pointed to Obama as well. Like, they're talking about trends on how certain counties are growing, like population trends, and what that might look like in terms of like what that might look like for the Democratic Party's chances in winning North Carolina as a state.
If Harris can cut into those margins. Now, I'd like you to widen out, big picture. How important are Georgia and North Carolina to Harris's potential paths to the White House overall?
Yeah, let's take a look. Call up our friendly Road to 270 map. And again, I think the significance of Carolina, it's twofold here. It basically, for the Democrats, it's the only one of these battleground states. You see all the others in gray here. This is the only one that Donald Trump won in 2016. All of the others, 2020, all of the others went for Joe Biden. So Democrats are playing offense here. If they win North Carolina, those are electoral votes they didn't already have. They're trying to protect electoral votes in every other state. And that means that North Carolina could offset for them potentially losses elsewhere. So a perfect example would just be Georgia. What if, playing the what-if game here, what if Trump got Georgia? That would be a flip. And you can see here that adds 16 electoral votes to his column. It went from 219 to 235. But then, if Democrats were able to squeak it out in North Carolina, that's a gain for Kamala Harris right there. And it's also 16 electoral votes. So the Democrats in this scenario would lose 16 to Trump.
Anecdotal evidence: my grandmother has received so many mailers attacking Harris in the past week. Republicans are deathly afraid of losing North Carolina to Dems. Also, an onslaught of TV ads against Harris. Sucks living in a battleground state, Lamau. It's not supposed to be one. Coming one. Is it me, or have libs been super defensive lately? I don't know. Wonder how Obama went over a chunk of those voters in rural areas. Was he advocating for the deficit? No, you don't understand. Barack Obama was running on an AUKUS candidacy, and that's how he was able to win over some of these rural voters. Everybody knows Barack Obama. Everybody knows Barack Obama ran on a campaign not of hope and change, but of nothing will fundamentally change. When he said hope and change, he was saying, I hope nothing will fundamentally change and that I'm going to do NATO. Okay. He only talked about that sort of stuff. He said he's going to have the most muscular military, the most lethal military. You've never seen it because he's a black man. You know what I mean? Because, like, obviously, as a black man, he's going to be polling weak. So he has to run on how he's going to the Middle East extra hard. Now, he did end up doing that, except he didn't run on it.
Trump in Georgia, but then they'd get the 16 right back in North Carolina.
Wait a minute. You're saying he said he would shut down Gitmo and end in Iraq? What? Yeah. He also said, if you don't vote for me, a black man, he did. Yeah. That's how campaigns are supposed to be run. Oh, wait, he didn't do any of those things. You're right. If anything, the closest we got to that was Biden saying that.
Now, is there a scenario where Democrats get both?
Talk about black poverty rates under Obama. What's really funny about this statement is that it implies that I'm like defending Barack Obama's administration and not simply talking about how he campaigned. But you're too stupid to understand that. So you literally came in here with some partisan, okay? If you were to actually listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth and at least had a little bit of an understanding of my opinion of Barack Obama's administration versus the way he ran, you would recognize that I'm very critical of Barack Obama, very critical of what he did. I was actually talking about how he lied about a lot of his policies of hope and change. Nonetheless, it didn't change the reality that he did run on that message, as in Americans are vying for such a message, okay? You know what Americans are not vying for? The top of the hour ad break. which is why they want to avoid said ads. And how do they avoid said ads? By subscribing for $6 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Okay? You can also get gifted a sub if you are lucky.
Both of them. And then we're talking about losing, let's say they were to lose Michigan. But again, a Michigan loss, that is 15 electoral votes, and it's 16 in North Carolina. So if you lose Michigan, and Democrats, and you win North Carolina, between those two, you've actually gained an electoral vote. So it really opens up. If Democrats could ever win North Carolina, it opens up a lot more possible pathways here simply because it could offset losses. It gives them more of a pad to lose states.
Steve Kornacki.
What the is this? Is this a joke? No, Kamala Harris is not more progressive than I am. Nick, listen to Donald Trump, turn on Fox News, or follow any Republican on social media, and you will hear or see the constant claim that Kamala Harris is more radical and more far left than Bernie Sanders. No, let me simply say, for better or for worse, Kamala Harris is not more progressive than I am. Bro, he just hates women, dude. Like, I love him more when I find out how much he just hates women, dude. He hates women. The American people are tired of women. Oh, he's so funny. Why is Bernie Sanders sending this out to like Bernie supporters? Is he trying to depress voter turnout? What the? Oh, it's so good. He's doing just a little trolling. Bernie voice, Medicare for all, including Nazis, but not women. I haven't gotten this and I get Bernie emails. I don't know if this is real or not, but that's pretty funny.
The American people are tired of women.
I love that it says this man talks like a real president. Let's see if this guy is in my chat still. User Arc Vinin. Damn, he's gone. Trump goes full fashion true social posting spree. One campaign official says staffers are relieved that former president has largely isolated his social media presence to his own app. He posted dozens of memes and comments from accounts promoting the QAnon conspiracy theory, false claims about the 2020 election, sexist attacks against Kamala Harris, and the use of authoritarian tactics against his political enemies. According to the progressive watchdog Media Matters, the former president promoted QAnon, an expansive conspiracy, you already know what it is, thread. Trump this morning amplified on Truth Social at least 6 different QAnon promoting accounts, a total of 15 times, including amplifying posts from one of them featuring the QAnon slogan and the QAnon phrase, nothing can stop what's coming. Below are images showing this. All roads lead to Obama. Read truth if you want public military tribunals. Donald Trump retweeted that post that he wants public military tribunals. That's awesome. Spiritual street fighter, strength and honor. The world will soon understand nothing can stop what is coming. Nothing can stop what is coming. Nothing. Where we go one, we go all. Read truth if you agree. God, I love the way boomers post, dude. It's awesome. Just so deeply unserious. Never has a president left office to collude with others to impede the next sitting president of the United States of America until Obama. The indictment is the crime. Deranged Jack's a criminal, using power to slay that which is inevitable. Trump has won the day. Election interference is the real crime. Trump has proven. Wait, is that a poetry? What role has God for you here in this magic hour? Is there something you could do to help take back our power? MAGA warrior poet Diane Light, username Bards of Peace. God woke you up for duty in this turning point in time. We are here to stop the looting, to end this ancient crime. What role has God for you to play here in this wicked time? Is there something you could do today to restore the earth's deep rhyme? Okay, this person has the mental faculties of a 5-year-old. Okay, like spiritually, mentally, this person is a baby. He's got a baby brain. These are the worst bars I've ever heard. She said the earth's deep rhyme. The Zoomers are Taiwan posting. Yeah, unlike Donald Trump, who's like famously not xenophobic and isn't regularly trying to go to war with China. Let me tell you something, okay, folks? Listen up, children. You're going to whether you like it or not, okay? You're going to die in a trench with like some Chinese robot dog doing Fortnite dances on your corpse, whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter if there's a D next to the name. It doesn't matter if there's an R next to the name, okay? This notion that like, oh, Trump wouldn't put us into with China over Taiwan is the dumbest thing I've ever fucking heard in my entire damn life. You're going to, okay? You are going to go and you are going to fight against China, whether you like it or not. It doesn't fucking matter. See you at basic. Bitch, I'm 33 years old. Okay. And I got dual citizenship. I'm out of here. Okay. I'm out. I'm Audi 5000, baby. Being 33 is basically like having a disability in terms of like getting military service. You know what I mean? Like until this looks like Ukraine holding out hope, they're not going to be trying to get me to join the military. At which point I will have left the country. Okay. Come the Toronto fam. Yeah, dude, you're right. Because America's hat is not also going to be fighting this against China. No, my method is simple. Okay. I go to the Chinese embassy and I beg them for extradition. I beg them so that I will be their most loyal soldier, their white monkey. Okay. That's what I'm doing. I need to learn. Hold on. Let's figure out how to do this. 1 second. Translate from English to Mandarin. Wait, you can't Google Translate? Chinese simplified. English. Okay. 你好，我要逃往中国了。
你好，我要逃往中国。
你好，我要逃往中国了。Okay, that's peak. Okay. I would like to be Xi Jinping's white monkey.
我想当习近平白猴。
我想当习近平白猴。白猴。
我想当习近平白猴。
我想当习近平白猴。Not even close. Call Jake and Bake to teach you Guaylo. Why does this sound racist like I know it's not? I mean, it is technically anti-white racism, but you are going to mispronounce and they're going to throw you in jail. Get Xiaoma on stream to teach you this properly. Would you say supporting NATO is the most important goal U.S. socialists should be working towards? Or does AUKUS take priority? Sorry, I'm new to this. Why not both? I don't know which one to choose from. Chinese is a tonal language. You might be saying something completely different from what you're trying to. Yeah. Xiaopang on fear and when. Yeah, that would be sick. Actually, this is you basically.
Dance. Position. So it's like that. What are you doing? 红衣人，我想和你说一件重要的事，而且我要用中文告诉你。对不起，我的发音不好，因为是你都是最好的，我很感激你出现在我
You go, white boy.
我们 sorry.
White boy proposes to girlfriend in perfect Mandarin. Shopkeepers everywhere rejoice. Go, white boy. 13 million likes.
Sorry, I'm down. 我们在一起的每一刻都很幸福，你的笑容要让我。
That's crazy. Not impressed. I've seen John Cena speak Mandarin. If he doesn't learn a language for you, he's not the one that says Duolingo. Over half of military-age Americans aren't eligible for service. They are going to hunt your ass down and ship you to basic. No shot. No shot. Your rendition of this went viral, to be fair. White guy stuns entire supermarket with flawless Japanese. Yeah, he also retruthed Vice President Harris and Hillary Clinton, saying like, funny how blowjobs impacted both of their careers differently. If one more person sends me this, I'm going to lose it, dude. We covered it already. I covered it already. I did. I covered it earlier today. Line that I'm too much of a high value male to die in a too alpha for military service. I ain't having no Fortnite dog dancing on my dead ass. Ain't happening. You are first in line, dude. You are first to go.
Do you want some of that candy? Yeah.
I don't. No, it's not my candy.
No, have some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what this?
Think butterscotch, maybe? Yeah, you like it?
Shopback, no!
Yo, wait, yo!
She got so excited!
Yo!
Sorry to bother, as this isn't totally related, but I've seen a few clips of you talking about the Chinese government. And do you actually support them? Do I? Ale Utasa, thank you for the sub. Is that AI or is that just you? No, it's me. I will show this to the Chinese embassy when when America goes to war with China and I switch sides. Okay. No, I don't want to watch Mehdi Hasan Victor Gao. Okay. No, I don't want to watch that interview at all. Is Xi Jinping's China on a path to no? You look fat there, so they feed you well? Yeah, they do. Okay. Special counsel indicts. I didn't even talk about the special counsel indicting Trump again over the 2020 election interference. Obviously, it's the same indictment, but like they reworked it. It's the same indictment. They just simply reworded the proposal or the indictment to portray Trump as a private citizen acting at the benefit of the re-election campaign and not as a president. That's pretty much it. I like Mahdi, but he was super annoying in that China episode. Stick to his Palestine stuff. Yeah. Here's the California bill.
Tonight, a bill in the state legislature is causing.
We're going to talk about this real quick. I wanted to talk about the details of this. We briefly covered this on the broadcast a little bit.
National controversy.